Welcome and congratulations for using Boardware's OPTI planning sheet. We're very excited to relaunch the sheet, and we know that it's going to make things a lot quicker and better for you as a customer at the end of the day. This will be a brief tutorial on the basics of how to use the sheet, and obviously things will change. The sheet will look different. We will keep the website up to date and add new boards, new features, and we're working with George and Mossel Bay's salespeople and customers to try and make sure that the sheet is as user-friendly and as accurate and just pleasant to work with as possible. We're going to be working with the 17th of January 2022 sheet, and we will work from here. Obviously, things might look different in the future. I encourage you to check the website or ask your salespeople for a new sheet. Every now and then we will update new colors and there will be new features as we go. First things first, we're going to set up a basic sheet together. We're going to set up, so let's say that I'm John and I have caps lock on, silly person, 875-8805. I hope that's George's number. Here, I'm not sure what job name we could work with yet. And say I want my delivery address. Let's say I'm delivering to myself for some reason. Bolton Road. So we set it up. We're not sure what job this is. This is going to be my base sheet. Okay, so at this point I would save generally, but obviously I want to keep my sheet clean. This would be your one that you would set up beforehand, and that every single time you send us a sheet, that's what you want. You want us to know it's from you. You want us to have your contact number and obviously your delivery address. Now we get into the job for a specific customer. So we're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to name it towards a job. So say I am working at Blue Mountain and I'm doing a job for, say, a guy called George, and this is number, say, 3A, the unit. We'll say File, Save As, and now we can see that the name at the top has changed. This is now specifically the sheet for this person. So now back, I'm going to say that this is my George Bloom Mountain job, and I just realized now that George is the name of the town, so that could be confusing, but it's not. We know who it is for. Now again, I want to save. So at the top, my details are complete. This is the person I'm working for, and I'm having the goods will be delivered to this address. So if you need to change it, say you want it delivered to site, you just put in the site address there. And that's all the details done. Now we can start with the actual cutting list. When you click on the drop down arrow, you will notice that all of a sudden you will have a selection of all the boards currently on stock. There might be a few that aren't on here. Some of the newer, I think, Sono ones might not be on yet, and we'll update that. If there is a board that is not on the sheet for some reason, you can just use color 1 or 2, or if you are one of those builders that does a lot of houses for development, say, you can use color 1 and 2. You can say, okay, for this house and whatever, color 1 is, say, Sahara, and color 2 is Iceberg White, and for that house, color 1 is, say, Winterberg, and color 2 is, say, Storm Gray. You know, if you're one of those people that allows people to choose their colors, but you have a general cut-in list, so that actually helps quite a bit. Or if you want to, you can just go and select your color from the list. Let's say we're working with Congo linear. Obviously we'll have peen and linear separate. For those who don't understand, linear is when there is a grain in the board, a bit of a wood grain feel to it, and peen is when it's the smooth textured finish. Congo linear. And now job or unit name. On your beam source sticker, this will be under job name. So this is good to say if is there anything specific. Under our push for the optimized sheet, we wanted to give you guys more customization. So on the sticker, if you want to put down anything, special unit names or ways you want to mark specific pieces, panels, boards, you can put it there and it will automatically print on your sticker. So say I want to say that this is my door for unit 1, that will print on my sticker. Now say I want to do I don't know, say 720 by let's say 544, and I want 2 of these doors, and our part description on your Boardware beam source sticker, this will be under customer. So say now I want to say this is for the kitchen for Blue Mountain, George, say it. George being the customer name, not the town. There we go. We've got ourselves 2 customizer points on our sticker, 2 identifiers. You can work in whatever codes you want to, and even if you have several panels that are the exact same dimensions, the beam saw will still optimize it, and OptiPlan will still optimize it for the best yield, i.e. to save you as much as possible on material costs. That is the whole point of using Optimizer, is to save money by working out the most optimal way to cut these panels out of a board. It will still do that, but it will print you specialized stickers for each one. So if I have several panels, of the same dimension, on my cutting list, it will say to me, I have these 2, but I might have, 10 others. So I have 12 of these panels. It will still put those on top of each other or around each other to get the best yield, but it will also print specialized stickers, which is very good. And then on top of that, you can have part description, because 2 of these panels might go to the kitchen, but we might have bedroom, M. George, for the same panels down below. So say we have this, I'm just going to, for instance, copy paste, I'll explain to that in a bit. And now this is door, say unit 5. It will still give me these differences on the stickers, but it will still optimize these 4 panels together. Now on top of that, edging, at the current point we have to put in all 4 sides. We are going to re-look at that and see if there isn't an easier way to do this. If you click on the drop down arrow now, just like the boards, you have a few easy to access ones at the top, and then below it you will have obviously all the boards again. The name by itself is the PVC version, so the 0.4, although we will generally work on a 0. And then below it, you'll have the 1mm with the name, and then below that 2mm. The reason being is some of the names are very long, and so they do get cut off on the sticker. So we want the 1mm and the 2mm at the front so that the people can see easily, okay, wait, this is a 2mm door or whatever. Now what we'll do is we'll go find Congo Linear on a 2mm, because obviously these are doors. We're obviously working in final sizes. So it will take that 2mm and the other 2mm, because these will be edge or rounds off, so the length will cut less than 720, but with the edging it will equate to 720. Now to make things easier, the sheet is obviously very friendly to everything Excel. Formulas, everything is very friendly to use, and I'll get onto a more advanced sheet on a different video. So what we can do is we can right click and say copy, or Control C, Control V, and we will paste it across all of these because we want it to be edge or round. Now, this is an edge or round piece. Also very easy, because you don't have to go and refine now Congo Linear by clicking on a drop down arrow and trying to find it. You can just click on the one you want, say Control C, or right click copy, drag it down and say paste. And then we have a couple of panels, we can write the sizes and that way. And if you want to just say for say instance, you're just doing 1 longs for some panels, but you want it in 2 more, you can just say copy, drag it down on the 1 long panel and just say paste. And that way now it's not edge or round, it is only 1 long. With copy and pasting, couple of warnings on it. Don't drag with the 4 black arrows, because this is a replacement. What it does is it will move formulas. It is not a train smash, and it's not going to destroy and hurt your data like when we first launched the sheet, but it's just bad practice to do. And also the autofill function with the black plus is not good to do for certain reasons, and I'll explain one very silly one. Is if you do say something like hardboard, if you use an auto drag function, you can see automatically here at board type it's picked up, hey, this is a hardboard, no it doesn't have grain, where as Congo Linear, yes it is chipboard and it has a grain, because obviously Linear follows a line where Congo Peen won't. I'm not going to get too much into that, but let's drag the auto drag function down here, and what you'll notice is that Excel tries to be smart and count for you and decides to go, oh, 8x4, 8x5. Those obviously aren't sizes, they don't exist, so they're not picking up. Which is why you shouldn't use the drag function, but rather if you want to do several, click on the first one, could have copy, drag it down, paste, and then all of a sudden you can see, hey, it's working. Obviously, like I said before, if you do that, it's not a train smash, it's not going to destroy your cutting list, but it does mean that on our side we'll have to do a little bit of editing, which means it's going to be slow. So the more as a customer you fill out the sheet correctly, the easier it is and the quicker you will get your quote back. And therefore you can quote your customers, put your cutting list in, and get in front of people that don't want to use the system. It's going to be a lot of an advantage to use the system. Then we're going to fill in the cut-in lists. We're going to put in our holes here, and that is probably the change that will happen in the next sheet, is we'll probably move holes over to column L and rather have our formulas not in between. And there we go. Let's say, pretend this is the cut-in list done. You save it. You're happy with all your information in column E here is filled out correctly. Your cut-in list is done. Let's pretend the sizes are filled in. You've got obviously two very big customizing points on your stickers of column C currently, as in job or unit name, and part description, which will appear as customer on your sticker over here. And that allows you to control quite a lot, and we're very happy with that. We save it, and all we do then is we send this entire Excel file to the salesperson on email. Please don't send any PDFs, and OpenOffice is allowed, and there is option for that, but there is a lot of mistakes that can happen with OpenOffice. So my recommendation is Google Sheets. It's free. You can work on it from 2 devices and 3 and 4 and 5 devices at the same time. Like, you can have multiple people working on the same spreadsheet. And you can work on it offline. It's free, or Excel, which is obviously a paid thing with Office, but most computers come out with it. And Excel and OpenOffice and Google Sheets are the 2 best ways to work on it. OpenOffice is obviously allowed, but not the greatest way to work with it. This obviously here tells us our panels. We have 4 panels. Generally, we're going to work on a blade width of 5 millimeters. That might change if you do some CNC work. And then we have our door count and our hole count there. This is just us for help to make sure that we catch all the panels. Under job or unit name, if there is anything specific that needs to happen to that panel, let's pretend there is a cutout, which for people, that is when you get to the corner and you have a square panel that needs to have a little bit of it cut out on, say, the panel saw or on the CNC machine. Please put it here, just say to it, recut, and you can still put in identifiers, say it's kitchen, or if you want to use kitchen in the part description, you don't have to do that, but you can say like, corner unit 1 over there, and you've basically identified, hey, that is a recut. If it, or that's a cutout. That's my bad. Let's say that's cutout. If it is a recut or grain match, I know Mosselbane and George identify them as 2 different things, but they are the same thing. There is a specific way to deal with that, and I want you to watch the video on recuts and grain match, please. It is very important to just put it in a certain way. It's a little 5-minute video. And yes, that's it. That's the sheet. You fill out your cut-in list, you email it to the salesperson, and then if you have any recuts or grain matches, please watch the video on that and just help us with that side as well. And that's it. We really believe that this is going to make things a lot better, faster, more accurate. And like I said, you can get your quotes back a lot quicker. You can quote your customers quicker. You can get your cut-in lists in front of people that don't want to use the system. And it is definitely going to be the way to go. Thank you so much for watching.